noises.
It is. It's talking this morning. Good morning, everyone. As we start out the morning show, and my stomach went,
What's going on over there?
I forgot to eat, I think.
I know I forgot to eat.
Yep.
But, of course, I'm not starving to death, so
Well,
it's
I don't
fine.
think any of us are,
get
so
it.
I think
get
it's
it.
okay. We'll make it. But anyway, my stomach was letting me know about that. But welcome to the morning show. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. Cheryl loves birds, I hear. Don't you, Cheryl? Yes.
Yay.
Yes, she just loves birds. She said she's... We were just talking about this off the air. She's terrified of birds.
Oh.
And bean soup.
So she definitely doesn't want to hang out downtown, because they're right behind my house.
No.
The big ones.
Nor at
hanging out
my...
in the trees.
Yeah, I've got, we get the big black things and the hawks and the whole 9 yards.
Oh, Cheryl.
Well, according to Dennis, we have an eagle that is living over near our house.
I would see an eagle living out by where you guys do. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. That one would scare me less than some of the little ones that are around. Like,
I have a feeling that Cheryl is like me and that she watched the birds when she was younger.
yeah, nope. She says she has not.
No.
That's what I said. That movie is just nightmare fuel. And we were talking about that, and Dennis said, Reinhart said, "Oh God, did you watch the birds?" I said, "Yeah, unfortunately. It's one of those movies that sticks with you for the rest of your life."
That was one that my mother, wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, but I could watch the birds. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, right. You're a pal.
Yeah, very sweet of you.
Yes, well, we're going to talk about all things movie theaters today. And speaking of movie theaters, I, grew up in a movie theater,
Yes.
right, at the Marquee. And speaking of horror movies, my dad would, I would be there as a small child, and he was working,
Right.
so I would be there in weekend nights or whatever with him, and he would be working. So what did Jennifer do? Sneak into every horror movie that I possibly could, and then had nightmares about them and cried.
Isn't that amazing how that works? Nobody ever thinks about that stuff.
Why did I do that to myself? Because, and it wasn't his fault. He was working, and I wasn't supposed to do it.
Right. I get
Which
it.
is, you tell your kid not to do something, and what are they going to do?
They're going to go do it.
Yeah. Anywho. But, so horror movies, whatever. But Josh Willett is here. We are going to talk about some fun stuff going on at Tri-City Theater, right?
We'll talk about our renovations today. So I'll get to fill you all in on all the great things that have been going on.
Well, we were talking with Cheryl off the air. There's this, what is it called, Adrian? The Penguin Lessons? I saw a commercial for this Penguin movie this morning, and I was wondering if you had it. And I think you did say it's going to be at one of the theaters?
No.
No? Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, I have no idea.
It
I'll
must
have to
be
look.
like a smaller, but it looks
Probably.
really cute. It's like this teacher, and he, I don't know, meets this penguin, and I don't know, takes it to his classroom.
You have to tell me what it is, and I'll
The
see if I
Penguin
can find
Lessons, I think. But anyway, it looked cute because I think he doesn't like the penguin. And the penguin's like, "Hey, buddy, let's
Penguin
be pals."
Lessons movie 2024 film.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Anywho,
Okay.
that's neither here nor there. So here's the thing, businesses have, when they're open for certain periods of time, they get some wear and tear.
1992
So
is, I believe, when Tri-City originally opened.
good grief.
It's hard to believe, right? Because you would have, it was the
in high
end of your
school.
high school.
Yeah.
So, and Lord knows, we're not getting any younger.
Lord knows. So that was just a few years ago that the Tri-City Theater
Yes.
opened.
So right now, we're basically, I've been comparing it, everybody laughs at me when I say it this way, and we're preparing the movie theater for the Oscars, just like a celebrity, right? And
Okay.
some of the things that a celebrity has to do is just, lipstick and makeup.
Sure.
Other things that happen, of course.
Is that both of us?
Yeah, it's probably both of us. Other things, of course, that would happen might be a little bit more of, let's say Botox.
Like maybe under the scalpel.
That's right.
Like it's going to take a couple weeks to recover from this one.
And then, of course, other things are just flat out plastic surgery.
Yes.
So, and that project, that process better than anybody. And
Yes.
it's very, I have to recognize the fact that if you've been to Tri-City, we are well aware the seats are falling apart. And we are well aware that there are things that are just outdated. But it's really difficult in a time when you have movie theaters like the Athena Grand has just closed in Athens. And you have movie theaters like Star Cinemas in Hillsborough just closed. That whole building is completely gone already. So movie theaters, unfortunately, there's still an uncertainty in that business. Right now, I have a really big beef happening with, gosh, I keep forgetting her name now. See, she doesn't matter to me anymore.
I don't like her. I can't remember her name.
Oh gosh, what's her name? That was married to Tom Cruise many years ago, and now is married to the
Nicole
country.
Kidman?
Nicole Kidman. Okay, so I have a huge beef right now with Nicole Kidman. Okay.
Oh.
So Nicole needs to see this. So back
We'll
during
send
the
it to her.
pandemic, she did this big thing that was go back to the movies, and there was a huge campaign that asking people to come back to the movies.
Yeah.
Well, she just made a new movie on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
So
A little hypocritical there.
yeah, so and again, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love watching movies on Amazon
I know,
Prime and all
right?
those places. But so
By the way,
yeah,
speaking of,
yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Has anyone watched The Substance?
No, I've not seen it. And we had it. We had it at the theaters, but no, I didn't watch it. It was not my idea of a good time. Yeah. It's just, is it, okay.
You got to watch it.
No, we had it. We had it
You
in
will
Chillicothe.
be processing it this next year at this time.
No,
Still processing
No.
that movie. It is fantastic and creepy and weird all at the same time.
And she won all
Neither
kinds
here
of
nor
awards
there.
for
Demi
it,
Moore,
but-
yeah, did it. It is something.
But
I don't know what drugs they were on, whoever wrote that movie, but it was something real good or
my
real bad.
gosh.
I don't know which. Anywho,
So,
go ahead.
Adrian, I'm going to have you pull up the pictures we talked about with the red seats. Okay, so this is Tri-City, as all of us know and love Tri-City.
Yes.
And honestly, what has happened is that our seats are a perfect example. Those seats have been there for over 20 years. And we know that there are seats that have been broken. Right now, there's a cone that's there, and it has to do with the fact that that row of seats is broken. And it's not from a lack of us trying to fix it. Quite honestly, we ran out of parts. We've
'Cause they're so
repaired
old,
so
yeah.
much over the years that we ran out of parts. And for the last 3 years, we've been trying to limp along and repair them. And what happens is, like anything else, you repair 20 seats, and a week later, 20 different seats are broken.
Exactly.
So we had the opportunity to go out and purchase some new seats for the theater. And again, a lot of it had to do with the fact that other movie theaters are closing down,
Okay.
which did help us get things at a little bit cheaper rate.
Sure.
So unfortunately, other people's, the fall of other movie
Demise,
theaters
yes.
is our gain.
Yes, sure.
And so our community will gain from that as well. But in that process of doing the seats, I mean, I'm super excited about the seats, and I can't wait for everybody to see them. And we'll get some pictures up.
I was
But
going to say, are you going
when you start doing that project, you're not just talking about, let's just take this chair out and put a new chair in. So we have gone through everything that we can get through, and there's nothing like knowing how much time just dealing with floors is, right?
I get it.
And so right here you can see all the red chairs are out, the carpet strip is out, and those are our new seats that have made their way in. They're
Pretty
absolutely beautiful.
ooh-ah.
But the biggest thing has been those floors. And in fact, we're not done with them because we've got to touch them up again. Those floors, there's a picture that you can't tell what it is. It just looks like, I don't know, it looks like sand on a theater floor, if you can find that one. But all of the seats came completely out. Yeah, you can just keep doing that. There we go. The one on my right.
Oh, my.
All of those floors were completely sanded down, every hole filled, because there have actually been at least 2 other sets of seats that were in there. So there were holes everywhere. It looked like Swiss cheese.
Which you don't really see because typically the lights are kind of down when you're in there
Exactly.
watching a movie, but it needs to be fixed.
We try to keep that stuff dark for a reason. So it's not that it's dirty, it's just that it's beat up. So all of the floors were completely ground down, and then you can see that the concrete has all been 100% refinished.
That is awesome.
So that takes time to
it
do.
does.
So
that is not a fun job.
no. So they've been there for several weeks working on that. And then the install process with the seats, there's nothing like knowing you just repaired all these floors, and what do you have to do?
Put holes back in them.
them.
It's just like, ugh, the knife in the
so
heart.
it's heartbreaking to watch that happen, but it's so wonderful when you see the new seats in. Again, they're a gray leather rocker, so they're very similar in how they feel compared to the old ones. Everybody loved Tri-City's seats because they're just comfortable.
Yes.
Especially compared to even our seats, if you're talking about Silver Screen or in Chillicothe. They're great movie theater seats. They're just not as comfortable as, say, these ones are.
Sure.
So having these ones at Tri-City is going to be fantastic to us.
Love that. Wait, what do you mean by rocker? What is that? They just like...
It's going to lean back kind of like your office chairs do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, so when you sit down, it'll lean back. It's not a recliner, which honestly, I don't love recliners in movie theaters.
Dude,
personally.
I would fall asleep.
But
the
problem with the recliner is they take up twice as much space.
Sure.
So all of a sudden, these theaters that we have that, with almost 200 seats now becomes a 100-seat theater.
Right. Yeah, and who wants that?
Right. So there are decisions that had to be made, of course, on cost and on capacity. If we lost all of those seats, and
100% of the time, I would fall asleep if I was in a reclining movie theater seat.
So, and of course, there are things that we do in the community that if we put recliners in that theater, I'll tell you the first thing that would go away, the free summer movie series. Because I'm not going to put little kids in a bunch of recliners for free. There's no way we could do that. And it would cut the capacity so low, it would be very difficult to do. So this was a really great compromise.
Love it.
It's still a beautiful seat. Again, I'm really excited about everybody getting a chance to see it. Along with that, so that's the part that nobody's been able to see. But if you're making your way in, so we've tried to stay open during this entire process. So we still have 2 screens that are showing movies. Kind of difficult to do, but the crews will come in, do their stuff in the morning, try to clean up what they can so that we're still good to go for later on. Let's see if you can pull up a couple of pictures that show maybe a little bit more of the lobby area. So another thing, of course, is carpets. And with the carpets, I absolutely love, this is our new carpet that was just installed. It actually has movie reels on it. If there's a picture that I sent you, maybe that's a little more of a close-up.
Super cool. Close up.
I don't know if I sent you one that's that way or not. I'm sorry. That's a little bit better. If you get a chance, that one there on the right is a great picture where you can see the different movie reels that are inside of that carpet. I love it. But that's the long hallway looking at what is Theater 4. That entire hallway is one piece of carpet. It is one 100-foot section.
Oh my God.
And when they brought it in, which of course eliminates all the seams and makes it look fantastic. But there's actually a little video that I sent you, if you have it, that you might turn down the sound on it if you can. But it is a video of us. We had it here at the plaza. And it was just them kind of unrolling it for the first time. And it was like rolling out the red carpet. But these rolls are absolutely huge. And they were rolling it out. So they would pre-cut the length here. And then they took it to, people were laughing because they saw the pictures. They took it to Tri-City and they did the secondary cut in the parking lot.
Nice.
So,
well, you gotta have a lot of space to do that.
So they were doing the secondary cut to do that. All of the walls, you can see all of the walls have been completely repainted. The carpet is there. Again, I don't know if he's got that video or not, but that's okay if you don't. That's fine. And then our office, we completely redid the office as well. So that's the picture on the left.
Nice.
That just was, I took that picture last night at 10 o'clock. So they've been just working through everything. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and hit that, that's great.
I'll keep your mics on.
Okay, perfect.
Since we were told to turn the sound down.
So just
Look at
watching,
that.
you can see the size of that roll when they were rolling that out.
Oh, there you can see the reels up close too.
yeah.
That's really cool.
We're so fancy. So anyway, it's so neat to see how they do that process.
at
But
that.
you can imagine just doing the main hallway took an entire day.
Oh, I'll bet.
By the time they went in, made that cut, took it, made another cut, and installed it, it took a whole day. 4 guys. But it looks beautiful.
Yes.
I love it. So again, we're trying to knock the 90s out of the theater, try to make it a little bit more updated, and still keeping it the theater that everyone here knows and
Yeah.
loves.
Because,
So-
that nostalgia means something.
So really all of this is a part of phase 1. So hopefully by this weekend, that is theaters 3 and 4. They're supposed to finish the carpet down the aisle and LED lighting strips that go, when you're in the movie and you go to leave to go to the restroom, you've still got to have a lighted walkway. Right?
I mean, if not, it's a cruel, sick joke.
So we
You end
have
up
that.
falling on someone's lap.
All of that is being replaced. So those theaters, I'm hoping, will be open this weekend.
Awesome.
And then they're going to close down Theater 2, and it is getting completely wiped and redone the same way.
So exciting.
Now, Theater 1, because I told you we had a parts issue, now we have parts. So Theater 1 is the largest auditorium. All of the chairs have been repaired.
Okay.
So it's back to fully functional. It's still going to get somewhat of a facelift as time progresses. That's probably phase 3.
Okay.
So it's going to get a bit of a facelift as well. There's new lighting that will go in. There's a picture that it looks like it's just a picture of the walls in the theater, but it's silly things like the lights. I just remember when you're in the theaters, one of the things that you just can't do is change light bulbs. Because you think about the lights that are in the ceilings, you can't reach them.
Oh.
So when the seats were out, we were able to change those lights to hopefully something that'll last for 10 years.
Yeah, LEDs
The new
that'll last
LEDs.
forever. Yeah.
But because of the seats, you can't just change them. So
I never thought of that. That's
it's
wild.
guys sitting there with those giant extension poles trying to change
Which
them.
is a nightmare.
Or
Yeah.
this giant ladder like they use at the Catholic Church, I know. It just to change lights. And so we changed the lights on the sidewalls as well to make them a little bit more updated.
Hmm.
They just looked like something out of
Like
the
1990
90s.
called and
Yeah, absolutely. So we made those kind of updates as well. I'm really excited for people to come
that
see
is
it.
so cool.
So my plea to our guests is, number one, thank you so much for dealing with all of this. You know that process.
Oh, do I? Yes.
And, thank you for everyone who's been there. We are open. There's still a little bit of, like I said, there's still dust. There's still parts left. Our concession stand is getting a refresh as well. We'll be moving to self-serve fountain machines instead.
Okay.
That is in process. Let's see. Oh, and meanwhile, we have to deal with those things like roof leaks and changing out ceiling tiles whenever you have a roof leak. And
Yep.
it's an old building. So parking lots, last year, the parking lot, the holes were all patched. The whole thing was redone. And so you're constantly keeping up with it. And if you remember, Tri-City 2 years ago was a cream color. Now it's gray. The whole building's been repainted. So there are lots of updates that we have been doing very slowly over the last really 2 years, trying to get it back to 100%.
Love that.
Keep coming. The upside to having the theater in Chillicothe, which again, tricitytheater.com, silverscreenvii.com for Gallipolis, and danbury.com for the Chillicothe Theater. We've noticed that, of course, we've taken a huge hit because we, instead of having 4 movie offerings, we only have 2.
Sure. It's a work in progress.
But I have noticed a lot of people from the Jackson area who are our moviegoers have been making their way to Chillicothe.
Oh, well, cool.
So
spice it up a little bit.
Absolutely. So thank you. We appreciate you continuing to support us that way. One phase at a time.
You know, and I'm just going to say this. You didn't ask me to say this, but listen, you know, entrepreneurship is tough. And you have to keep up with maintenance and stuff. And it's not cheap. And it's time consuming. And it's heartbreaking. And it's so rewarding all at the same time. But please understand that all of this stuff costs a whole lot of money. And
it actually makes me get a little teary because they always say if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
But the other part is you have to have it to build it.
It is. It's a lot. I mean, it just goes round and round, and and then you do all of this, and you put your heart and sweat and tears and soul into it, and you open the doors and you pray someone walks through them.
So yes.
And you don't know.
And I'm just hoping,
So please support our local businesses.
Keep coming out, and I will say, as soon as I see somebody's feet on one of my new seats, it's going down. It is going down. Do not. Please just be mindful of the property and the things that are there. There's a lot of work that goes into this. A lot of time, energy. A big shout out to the Stockmeister crews for all of the work they've been doing. I drive them crazy because it'll be 9 o'clock at night and I've got Billy on speed dial and like, hey Billy, what's happening with this?
Hey, I just remembered blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's Sunday and I'm sending a message to Billy. Hey, I think the guys are coming in tonight to start this, and okay, I'll be there. And so again, shout out to the Stockmeister crew and all of their work, and some of the guys that are there doing the work are actually, I know Travis is there, and Travis is a huge movie fan anyway, so it's been really exciting to him. Other guys that have been there doing work going, I helped build this building in 92.
Right. Now I'm
here again. It's kind of a full circle moment.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for what you do and what you're doing to make, our movie theater, our community's movie theater bigger and better than ever, and we appreciate that.
Thank you. Cora and I are headed to CinemaCon again next week. You might remember we talked about that when Top Gun came out.
Yes.
So hopefully I'll come back with some goods.
Yes.
And be able to tell you all the different things that are coming.
All the dirt and the tea.
Yeah. And maybe somebody will get served divorce papers or something on stage again. That's what happened last time I was there.
That's right. I forgot about that. Who was that?
It was Keira Knightley and
Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
And Jason
Yeah.
Sudeikis.
Yeah, Jason Sudeikis. Yeah, she was served papers on the stage at CinemaCon. That was so much fun.
Strange and inappropriate, but okay.
Yeah, we're just sitting there watching, going, "What is happening?" So
yeah, that's pretty
well.
Weird.
Thank you all very much. Hi, Mom. Anyway,
no, thank you, and we appreciate it, and thanks for the update.
Yes, very good.
And for doing good. So, all right, well, we have a message or two, and then we'll be back with our good friend Dennis Reinhart, and we're going to be talking about wild and wonderful West Virginia today, I hear. So we'll be right back.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
thetelegrammnews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, thetelegrammnews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
Thetelegrammnews.com.
Subscribe today at thetelegramnews.com.
Check it out.
Saturday, August 16th is Southern Rock Woodstock in the Gallipolis Fairgrounds. This event will feature 3 decades of original artists and legends, such as Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, and Molly Hatchet. In light of this event, Total Media will be giving away 4 VIP tickets. For a chance to win these exclusive passes, comment your favorite Southern Rock song, and our staff will vote on which one is the best. Good luck, and may the best man rock out.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
We're gonna take that commercial and we're gonna run over it with our 4-wheel drive vehicles because it will not go away. But no, welcome. Our good friend Dennis Reinhart is here, and you've been talking about just really cool, interesting places to visit in our area. Well, we're going to branch out a little bit today.
Yes, we are. West Virginia, I'm going to talk about it today, and most of these places are like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. They make a really nice weekend trip, an overnight trip. And some people may be familiar with this area because Snowshoe Ski Resort is very near some of these places. Have you ever gone to there?
No, I have not, but I know a lot of people that
a lot
do.
of Jackson people do that. So what we're talking about is the eastern part of West Virginia and Randolph, Pocahontas, Tucker counties, over in there. And people that aren't familiar with it, Elkins is kind of the big town there. And if you drive Route 219 south out of Elkins, then you can access a lot of these places.
I hear Elkins on the news a lot.
Yeah.
The West Virginia news a lot.
Well, it's just kind of a center for outdoor activities and those sorts of things. And some of the places I'm going to show you are very accessible for people. So you can drive right up to some of these places.
Oh, cool.
There are a few places like usual that are kind of in the backwoods.
That only Dennis knows.
No. You just got to kind of hike to them, that kind of thing and stuff.
Sure.
So, anyways, we could get on with it. Some of the first pictures.
Love this. This is so fun.
Okay, so this is called the Scenic Highland Highway, and it's about a 43-mile highway that comes off of 219, and a lot of the highway is at about 4,000 feet. And you have many pull-offs that you can pull off and look out across the mountains, the Allegheny Front right there.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful fall drive. However, you have to take into account, so this is like 4,000 feet above sea level, so their fall is much earlier. So if you want to see Collar early, you go there the last week of September.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see this.
Gotcha.
The other thing about the Scenic Highland Highway is that there are trails and recreation areas that come off of that highway.
Sure.
So, you can access it that way. And again, since it's up at about 4,000 feet, the vegetation is really different from around here. For example, those are red spruce trees that you see, and they only grow like on the highest ridges of the mountains in West Virginia.
Really?
But this gives you, you don't have to walk up the mountain, you don't have to hike. You're just driving a nice paved road, and you can stop wherever you want. Nice and cool temperatures up there in the summertime.
I'll bet.
Now, they close it down over winter because it's just, you can't drive on it. So they gate the thing. So at a certain time, you're not able to use it because the road can be
treacherous.
Really treacherous.
Yeah.
Yes, it can. And what makes a really nice trip, you can make like a circle drive where you go down 219, you cross this Scenic Highland Highway, and it goes down to Route 33, and you drive back east that way, and it's along the Cherry River. It's just so scenic. I mean, it's just a scenic drive. So
I'll bet.
If you and your family, want to go down there, that makes a nice drive for the family to go down through there.
That is so cool. And you get to see things that you don't get to see around here, like vegetation-wise.
It's just completely different environment, you know.
And you're only a couple hours away. Like, that's wild.
It is.
So cool.
Okay.
It is interesting that, I don't know, the United States is so unique because it's like a million different countries in one country.
Yes.
Because there's so much difference in the landscape.
Well,
depending on where you are.
Yeah, what you see there and in other areas, I'll show you. That's what you see in Canada. That's what you see hundreds of miles to the north.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's the same plants, same animals. Those
and it's
sorts
just
of
a few hours from here.
It's a few hours from here, and it's kind of south of us, so that makes it very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. All right. Okay, this is an area that's called the Dolly Sods, and it's the highest plateau east of the Mississippi River that you're going to find, and it's named after a German family that were the settlers there, and sods means an open mountain meadow. So this is a big flat area that's up.
I was going to ask you what that meant. Okay.
Yeah, it's up around 4,000 feet. Again, the area I'm showing you, you can drive to it, okay?
Is this off the same highway, or is this a different road?
Yeah, it's in the general area, yeah.
Okay.
And you can drive to this area. What I'm showing you is an area is called the Bare Rocks, but it's much larger. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of acres. It's a wilderness area. Now, that red there, that's blueberry plants. And so towards their fall, those turn red. And I mean, it's just fields and fields of red up in there.
Wow.
And so, you know, people go up there and they pick blueberries when it's time to harvest and that sort of thing.
So are those like a wild blueberry? Is that? And you're just allowed to.
You're just allowed to go and pick the blueberries.
Come home with purple fingers, I assume.
Yeah. Now there's also a lot of really interesting rock formations because the wind is constantly blowing up there.
Okay.
And they are kind of sculpted by the wind, these rock formations, and it makes that kind of really interesting to see. The other thing is this has to close down in winter also. So that doesn't mean that you can't access it, but you would have to walk to access it. But they have snowdrifts that get up to 20 feet.
Okay, that's scary.
In that area.
Now I know why it's closed during the winter.
And it can get like 34 below zero up there.
Okay,
on top of there.
I'll pass. Thanks.
But in the summertime, it's like 70 to 50 degrees.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Degrees up there, right?
Although it would be lovely to see the snow, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Some people actually do camp in that kind of weather too.
Yeah, no thanks.
Then you have to have special equipment to prepare for it and everything. Yeah. But these are the what they call the bare rocks, and like up in the upper left-hand corner, these cliffs, you can look out and you can see the mountains for miles and miles there and stuff. And on the right, that's just a friend of mine standing on one of those kind of strange rock formations that are found up there in the Dolly Sods. It's a very popular area. And the road that goes up to it is a gravel road. It's a narrow gravel road, okay? And it's become so popular that there was like a Greyhound bus up there one time.
No.
And I was like, how in the heck did you drive that thing up there, you know? Because that road is not a real good road. And again, there are some of those rock formations. And the rain gathers in it, the rainwater, and you'll have pools of water there. And the trees that you can see in the background, some of those trees are what are called flagged, which means that the wind blows so hard up there that you only have branches on one side of the tree. So it looks like a flag, and they're stunted, you know, because of that.
That makes sense.
On the right, the main stream that goes through there is called Red Creek, and that's an example. There's a Red Creek Trail also that goes along there. So there's all kinds of trails there in the Dolly Sods too. So go on to the next one here. Okay, one of the areas that comes off the Scenic Highland Highway is called Tea Creek, and there are trails. This is one of the ones that you would have to hike back into.
Okay.
If you look at the middle picture there, you see these moss covered things. Those are the ties of an old railroad track.
Really?
So some of the trails in West Virginia are built where the railroad grade was at.
Makes
Now,
sense.
the type of railroad we're talking about wasn't a passenger railroad. They did extensive lumbering in the early 1900s. So these were narrow gauge railroads that they would bring timber down off the mountainsides, red spruce, those sorts of things. And so they used that to make trails here and in the Otter Creek Wilderness also. And so that's me. My buddy took a picture of me hiking in when we were going into the
How exciting.
Tea Creek Wilderness, and there's Tea Creek, very beautiful, beautiful creek. There's some more pictures of Tea Creek there. Up at the top, there is a large pool there. There's a small waterfall. We camped there, and that's like the first, what they call an Adirondack shelter, which is like a 3-sided building that you can camp in. And if you have a tent that's self-supporting, you can put the tent in there. But that is a great swimming hole that's up there at the top and stuff. So
fun.
Yeah, it's a really nice place, really beautiful place to camp.
How do you know about all this stuff?
I just research it and find
My
out,
goodness.
and I want to go. And it's actually, I got to tell you, this is my friend Todd Martin, and there on the right, what he's doing is he's putting a bear bag up.
A what?
A bear bag.
That sounds scary. What is a bear bag?
Well, bears have a ability to smell, which is like 20 times better than what a dog has.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's
Yes.
a lot. And so you do not want to attract bears to your campsite. So you have to take certain precautions to make sure that that doesn't happen. So one of the things you want to do is take your food away from your campsite and put it up so the bears can't get to it. Now, I've heard that those aren't as good as other methods. Like there's a thing that's called a bear barrel, and you seal your food in it, and then it cuts off all odors.
Okay.
And so this is on a pulley system, and then you take a rock and you put it in a bag and you throw it up over a limb,
Sure.
and then you can pull and hoist your
I see. So
your food
you're
up.
You're keeping it up out of reach.
Right, and so
allegedly.
So they're pretty smart. They can figure out ways to get to things.
Way smarter than we are. What kind of bears are we talking about
black
here?
Bears.
Okay.
Yeah, black bears. When you go in, there's a sign and it says, you are in bear country, so you have to take these precautions when you're doing this.
And
okay?
here's the thing: know that the black bears aren't out hunting human beings,
No,
right? They're
no.
hunting food. So
right.
If you're not near your food, you're probably okay.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to even toothpaste. The odor of toothpaste, those will attract. Those odors will attract bears. And when I go in an area like that, I carry bear spray also. Which bear spray, you basically spray it. It forms like a screen or a wall, and it's like pepper spray. If the bear contacts it with its eyes and its nose and stuff, then it's going to irritate it, and the bear is going to take off. Okay,
Allegedly.
Allegedly, and then and there are times that I'll carry a firearm also. Mm-hmm. Just as a precaution, an extra precaution. Go back to that picture again. I want to show something else there. That left picture. Okay, bears are not what you have to worry about. What you have to worry about are mice, okay?
Mice?
Mice.
Really?
That's right.
Little
because
cute little Mickeys?
They will eat through things. They will eat through your tent. They will eat through any of your gear that you have. And on the Appalachian Trail, they're really a problem.
Oh,
okay.
I never would have known that.
And you talk about a horror story, and birds, mice. There was a woman that was on the Appalachian Trail, I read all these stories, and she woke up because a mouse was gnawing on her lip because she had used lip gloss.
Ew, no!
Yeah. So my friends got this big rock, and this mouse was just, tormenting us all the time. That mouse would run out, and then he would go back, and he was freaking out, and he said, we can't let this mouse, chew on our stuff. We can't do this.
So
he had a rock, and he was ready to drop it on the mouse. That's what he's doing there and stuff. But, yeah, it's something you wouldn't think is a problem.
No, not at all.
But it is.
Okay.
But it is. Yeah. You can go on there.
Next one.
Yeah.
Let's do this one.
Okay.
Okay, that's nightmare fuel. Right there.
Okay, I got to take my time with this place. There is a little community that is down in that area that is called Helvetia. And Helvetia is the Roman name for Switzerland. So these Swiss people came in there and they settled this community.
Okay.
So they still follow a lot of the customs of Switzerland in the Alps mountains and things. And it's such a small place. They have a school, and there are 30 kids in the school, okay?
Whoa.
Since cell phone service is bad, that little town and a town down the road, Pickens, they still have pay phones, okay? So you can call out and everything. But in that town, there's a really cool Swiss restaurant. It's called the Helvetia Hut, and they serve Swiss food. And the first time that I was down there, we're sitting in there, and here's this guy walking through yodeling and stuff, And we've been down there when they've had a other type of festival where they all dress. They have a parade. They all dress in their costumes, and what this is a celebration that's called Fastnacht, and in the Alps, what they would do is. It was a ceremony to drive out winter. Okay, so
can we have one of those?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't very
please?
successful. We were just down there a few weeks ago, and they were trying to drive out winter. But eventually, it started out as kind of a pagan thing, and then it was adopted by Christian people. And what they used it for is for Lent. You have Mardi Gras, you have Fat Tuesday.
Sure.
This is the same thing here. And these people, the number of people is just incredible in this little town. And there's no place to park. You've got this road, so they're all parking along the side of the road. And what happens is these little girls, they wear flowers because flowers are supposed to scare old man winter. And the whole ceremony is that you have this parade and you go down and they have this big gigantic bonfire and they throw that thing of effigy of old man winter on there, and they burn old man winter. But, in the olden days, in the Middle Ages, when they were going to have Lent coming up, they didn't have refrigerators and stuff, so their food would spoil if they were gonna fast that whole time. So they had to eat all that stuff before the Lent season came along. So there's a real nice family there. These people do these
nightmare fuel.
Yeah, they put these costumes on, and there's other things that are going on. And in this little town, there's also a store that's a post office. And people leave their costume heads and stuff there, and you walk in and they're up there on the shelf and that sort of thing.
Oh,
but
boy.
These people come from all over. So, there's the fire that they set to take old man winter, and they bring him at the head of the parade, and they're playing these fifes and drums and stuff, and then they take him there, and then they burn him. But there are other things that are going on too. There's like a town hall where they have their music and they serve beer and that sort of thing. There on the right is Old Man Winter.
Be gone with you, buddy.
Yeah, be gone with Old Man Winter. And you see that big horn. I don't know what you call them. I call them Ricola horns and stuff,
Yeah.
And at another ceremony or another festival they were playing those things. And then, of course, they have this like dance stage in the middle of this meadow, and the kids are all wearing traditional Swiss costumes and everything, and they do all these dances and stuff and everything. And it's really, really interesting. It's an interesting place, just sort of a little odd place. And we, we would always go down there and make sure that we'd eat at the restaurant.
I was going to say that would be like a highlight to eat at the restaurant.
It is. And this restaurant it's different because it consists of rooms. Mm-hmm. It's like a house that was renovated or something, but it's you eat in a room, so you're by yourself. And then there's another room where other people can eat, and another room where other people can eat and stuff. And again, it's Swiss food. It's authentic Swiss food and everything. So
I'm down.
Yeah, you would enjoy it. You really would. And there's not much to the town, but there is like a bed and breakfast type thing that you can stay at, and then you can go over in the morning at the restaurant and you can eat your breakfast and stuff. Cool. So yeah, it's really, really a fun place, really an interesting place. But you've got, like I said, you've got one paved road that's coming in, and then you've got gravel roads coming in, And we used to stay at Cumbraebell State Forest in a cabin, and we stay at Holly River, which would show you there. And we would drive over on Saturday night over on the gravel roads to go to the restaurant to get something to eat.
Nice.
So, it was real fun there. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, this is part of Holly River State Park, and it's like the second largest state park in West Virginia, and it's close to Helvetia by the way the crow flies, driving the gravel road over there. Okay. But it's a modern campground. I mean, it has a swimming pool. Even the campground, the tent campground, has Wi-Fi.
Nice.
There are cabins there. If you're staying at the campground, it's all modern, nice wash house, shower house, those sorts of things. And the campsites are beside the Laurel Fork of the Holly River. And one of the things about Holly River, they have some beautiful waterfalls, and these are not all the waterfalls that you find at Holly River State Park. The one on the left is the Upper Falls. And there are boardwalks and steps that can take you down where I took that picture at the base of that waterfall. So, the family can get down there to it and everything. Now, the two on the right, there's a trail that leads from the Upper Falls, and it goes to those two waterfalls. Now, to get to the one in the middle, you do have to roll up your pants legs, and you do have to wade across the creek to get to that one. That's the Lower Falls. There's probably, I believe all together, there's like 7 waterfalls that are in there in Holly River, and they are really cool. Go back to that other one there. The one on the right is called the Shoop's Chute. And
say that 5 times fast.
The guy was Shoop was like the superintendent, like way back when, of that park, and so they named that
cool.
after him. And it's basically, it shows the power of water, that it's just cut down through that rock like that to make a really unique type of waterfall there. Go ahead. And again, this is in Holly River, and in the middle, that's a native brook trout.
Pretty.
And they are absolutely beautiful, and they're not big, but I enjoy fishing for them, and I release them. I don't keep them. They are good eating, but I don't do that. Just a picture I want to put on there to show you how beautiful those fish are.
Gorgeous.
And native means they've always been there. They were actually marooned in those mountains at the end of the last ice age, the Pleistocene. So they only live where the water is very cool in the upper reaches, up in the mountains and everything. So there you go. Okay, this is more away from that area. This is in southern West Virginia. And this is called Valley Falls State Park. And this is Tiger River. And those waterfalls, big, huge waterfalls.
Those are kind of scary looking.
Yeah, well, you can walk right up to it.
Really?
You can walk along those rocks and everything. And in the fall, you
just
can see.
don't fall in it.
Don't fall in it. That's right. Very swift current, but very beautiful. And again, that's an area you can drive right up to, so you don't have to worry. Most of these places are easily accessible. Okay. Now, on the left and right, in the middle, that's still Valley Falls. But on the left and right, you've got what is called Sandstone Falls. And Sandstone Falls is on the New River.
Okay.
And that's the river that in some places they do a lot of whitewater rafting and those sorts of things. But Sandstone Falls on the right, as you're driving in, you're way above Sandstone Falls and you're looking down on it. Up there at the top in that little cleared area, there's somebody's house up there, and I thought, man, what a place to have a house
no
there,
doubt.
and everything. But Sandstone Falls, again, you can drive right up to it. And what they've done is they've built boardwalks along there, so you can walk all through the areas, and you can get closer to the waterfalls, that sort of thing. Okay, again, now there's Sandstone Falls. That's the falls itself. It's a very large waterfall.
Yes.
A very, very, very beautiful waterfall. Okay. I think that's it right there.
Awesome.
But anyways,
very cool. So where would people, how would they find more information about the things that you talked about today?
Well, you could go online and you can find out a lot about these parks and everything.
So it's not like a hidden thing.
No.
It's
It's not a hidden thing. And I would encourage people to go and just take the time to go on a weekend or just take a couple days. Just go with your husband, your wife, whatever. If you want to take the kids and just have a good 2 days away and, take a weekend for each one of these places and everything.
Sure.
And Holly River also has cabins that you can stay in there too.
Okay.
A lot of the state parks do in West Virginia. But again, you're talking 3.5 hours away. So that's
nice little road trip.
Well, yeah, it's a little road trip. It's close enough, to where it's not anything that you have to worry about spending several days there, unless you wanted to. Yeah. So I encourage people to check into these places and stuff.
Well, very good. Well, thank you once again for sharing the beauty with us. We greatly appreciate when you stop by.
I enjoy it, and I hope that, it makes people want to go to some of these places and see these things.
Absolutely. One of these days, winter will leave.
That's right. If Foshnock didn't work.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, well, thanks for having me.
Well, Dennis, thank you so much for stopping by. Jeremiah is waiting in the wings to do some news, so let's have a message, and we'll be right back.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
All right, and we are back with our good friend Jeremiah and some news.
Yeah, Jen, at the close of yesterday's show, I mentioned a fire that I'd heard about.
Yes.
Was able to finally track that down, got a hold of the appropriate or the right fire department. I was in contact with the wrong one, and then they told me that they actually weren't the ones that handled it. It was another one, so then I had to get a hold of somebody else. And late last night, I finally was able to get the information, so I can share that, and we have a photo.
Oh, my goodness.
Here is the home. It's just completely leveled. This is near Ray in Jackson Township. And this fire occurred it was Sunday night, March 23rd at approximately 10:55 p.m. And Colton Volunteer Fire Department, it was in their coverage area. they were alerted out, and this what's left of this structure, which isn't much, it's 626 Wills Road is where this is located. And they had mutual aid come in from Wilson Fire Department, Jackson Fire Department, and Jefferson Township, which is Richmonddale there in Ross County. And they all had come into that scene. And according to the fire chief there in Colton, that's Andrew Kincaid, he said upon their arrival, the structure was fully engulfed and mostly on the ground.
Is everybody safe?
Yeah, no, everybody. He didn't say anything about anybody being injured or anything. Sad situation.
Very sad.
He said crews did not have easy access to the structure due to a poor driveway and steep hill conditions to get their trucks up there.
Well,
to
this
where
weather hasn't helped any.
Fire
with that.
was, yeah. And he said crews worked to extinguish the fire and contain it from spreading into the nearby woods. And the fire was out, and crews packed up to clear the scene. It would have been 1:39 a.m. Monday morning, so March 24th. And I asked some additional details. The owner of the structure was Joey Peoples, and it says that she, along with 3 other residents, are obviously displaced where the structure was burnt. He said that there was a camper nearby with 3 residents that are also displaced because they were using electricity that was connected to the residence. And obviously it's all disconnected now because the home's gone. So that's the American Red Cross was contacted for 7 residents from this fire.
Okay.
4 that actually lived in the structure that burned down. And he said the undetermined cause, as the structure was almost completely gone upon their arrival. He said that they spoke to the property owner and didn't believe that there was anything suspicious, but believed that it could have been electrical in the kitchen is where it could have started.
Can happen any time.
I have a few. We're going to have a complete story on this. I had the picture was courtesy of Olivia Miller, and she is, I don't know if she's like a friend of the family or a relative, but she is taking donations for those that lost the home. So you can reach out to her on Facebook. It's Olivia Nicole Miller.
Okay.
And in my story, I'll have like the sizes,
very good,
clothes sizes and stuff in there. I'll put that.
Listen, we all have stuff laying around, you know.
So, just wanted to get into that, and I know we're almost out of time. So we had over the weekend we had some musicals. I'm gonna wait. We'll get into those tomorrow when I have a little more time, and also want to tease the Newsies. That's this weekend. We'll do that tomorrow as well. And we'll save that for tomorrow. I'll go over these 2 briefs real quick here, since we're a little limited on time. I wanted to mention that the Jackson Apple Festival royalty members, they would like to invite children to their annual Princess Tea Party.
So fun.
And that's being held on Sunday, April 13th. And the event will be held from 2 to 4 p.m. at Northview Elementary this year. And those attending are encouraged to wear your Easter best, a princess dress, or anything comfortable, it says. You have to be pre-registered to attend this event. You can text 740-577-2907 to register. The cost is $15 per child. It says children 5 and under can attend, but they must be accompanied by an adult. Payment, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because payment's coming up. Payments must be paid by April 6th.
Okay.
So that's
what a
coming
fun
up.
Day for the little ones.
Right. Yeah, and they get to spend time with the royalty there. A lot of them
our real life local princesses
that they look up to. So, it must be paid by April 6th and can be cash, check, PayPal, Venmo, and there will be a fantastic tea party featuring snacks, games, crafts, and more. So you can text that number for more information and to register. I wanted to mention this in Vinton County. I don't think I've mentioned this. The Village of Zaleski is accepting letters of intent from people who wish to serve on the Zaleski Village Council. Recently, a council member resigned due to some health issues, which led to the open council seat. If you are interested in the council seat and you live in the Village of Zaleski, you can write a letter of intent and put it in the water bill drop box at the utility office, or you can also mail those letters to the Village of Zaleski. That's P.O. Box 176, Zaleski, Ohio 45698. And those letters should be turned in before the next council meeting there in Zaleski, which is scheduled for Monday, April 14th.
Okay,
so you still have
get on
time to get those in if you are interested in serving the community there. So there's a quick rundown of a few things, and we'll be back tomorrow to talk about the musicals. And I will say, let's see, today's Wednesday, so on Monday I got to go to a dress rehearsal for the Newsies.
Yes.
And it was a little over 2 hours long, so full of energy, and it was a good production. So I didn't know a whole lot about the Newsies, even though I'm a newsman. I watched the musical, or not the musical. Well, I guess it's a musical on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
The one that came out in I think it was like '97 or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Like the lead actor is Batman, and
what?
Yeah, Christian Bale. Yeah, and
I'm like, there's been like 20,000 Batmans. I don't know which one you're talking
so
about.
when I seen him, I was like, that's Batman. That's a young Batman right there. That's what I saw. But that's where my mind goes. Because I grew up, I know there's been a lot of Batmans, but like when I was growing up, Christian Bale, those movies were out.
Yeah, we're so old it was Michael Keaton. So,
so that was a little.
Oh, that's even older, Adam West, yes.
Okay, yeah. So we know the other ones, but when I saw him, I was like, man, he looks familiar, and I was like, oh, that's Batman. So, but anyway, I'd watched that, and then went and watched the musical, and there's a little bit of difference between the musical and the movie.
Okay.
I will say that. I don't know. Maybe that's just because of Broadway, the way it is. I will say like the love interest was different, because in the movie, like he falls for like the sister of like one of his buddies, but in the musical it was like the journalist that he falls for. So anyhow, but it was really good, high energy, a lot of choreography, dancing and singing.
Fun. I'll bet the kids are going to have so much fun.
Big cast. I can't remember how many's in that, but we'll get into that tomorrow. I can go through rundown. We can show a picture of some of the cast. So.
Cool. Well, Jeremiah, thank you so much for stopping by, filling us in on the latest and greatest.
Be sure to pick up the Telegram. Got a nice front page. It's a 12-pager with, I think inside they got the double truck on the Basketball Mania stuff.
That's right.
So
you got it.
Pick that up. I think it's probably like where the brackets fall or something now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't actually looked at that portion of it. But
see if your team's still alive.
Yeah, I need to log in to see where I'm at because I did auto-generated, and I don't know how I'm doing.
Well, we'll report back.
If I win, it was all by luck because I didn't try.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you all for tuning in this morning. We greatly appreciate you, and we will be right back here on your Thursday morning. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.